Hello, everybody. Welcome to Shoulder Tap. I am Jack, joined by Mick, the risk manager today. Mick, how you doing?
Hey, what's happening, Jack? I am very well, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed today. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Full disclosure, I am working the production software right now, so if you see me looking around, that's where it's at. But I'm going to get us through this.
Okay, well, I can have wandering eyes as well, just to make it. You're not. I don't want to have you be all alone there.
Exactly. In the meantime, though, how are traders doing overall today, Mick?
It's a good day today. Happy to share that again. It's been a good week. We have, however, through the first 2 days of this week, we've closed 10 XFA, 10 live accounts down. I'll be talking about one of those traders today. I've got a little bit of a shoulder tap for them for moving forward. But good week. We've called up a lot of people from XFA to live, so adding more people to the prop firm, more than that add there. So yeah, it's good on the live side of things. We've seen a mixed bag from the traders in XFA, and I want to kind of pick back up a talking point from yesterday, at least continue the story from yesterday around that Shane S, the trader in the XFA who had the $130,000 winning day across 5 XFAs not too long ago. Yesterday, I shared that he was on a 5-day losing streak for about $79,000, $80,000. Well, he hit the $3,000 daily loss limit again today in all 5 of those XFAs, turning it into a 6-day losing streak for a staggering $94,000. 94 grand is a shit ton of money to lose in 6 days.
I can't disagree with that assessment, Mick. That is a lot of money to lose in 6 days.
Yeah, and I say it smiling. One thing but it's kind of a smirk in a way. We talked yesterday, Jack, about those windfall profits and ensuring that you're protecting some of them. I think the leverage from the additional, XFAs that he's got, allowed him to, put up a staggering number when he, hit 26,000 in profits in each one of those XFAs. People always think about the upside potential, tend to lose track of the downside potential, and I'm showcasing the downside potential here when you are adding extra leverage, 3,000 across 5 accounts, 15,000 plus a little bit slippage. It adds up and it adds up and it adds up, and here we are 6 days later with almost 100,000 of that 130,000 given back in very short order.
Yeah, no, I mean that sucks. As Mick mentioned, I don't think we were smiling out of any joy in that. It's more the smile you give when something weird or awkward happens and you don't know exactly how to react. Not a that's bad. Hopefully they can turn it around.
It is. I don't know if Shane's watching. I would imagine if you get called up to or you don't get called up to, if you find yourself earning the number 2 spot on the leaderboard and you've ever seen Topstep TV and people, talking about the leaderboard and stuff like that, you're probably tuning in. So Shane, if you're watching, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Let's figure it out. You are on a cold streak and you've given back quite a large percent of the staggering profits that you made that day and the profits that you've accumulated from days prior to that. Yeah, not smiling. I've seen some stuff. Jack's seen some stuff. We've experienced some stuff ourselves, and this is just something that this will happen to people. This will happen if you don't manage your downside risk. I would say that maybe it's time to tiptoe into the markets a little bit for Shane come tomorrow. Next 2 days this week, we don't really want to add much more insult to injury.
Yeah, who
Two
we
more
got
days like
next?
this is gonna. 2 more days of this, if it were a 7-day losing streak, a daily loss limits, you literally erased $130,000 in 7 sessions, and any risk manager would scold you over that. So let's kind of pump the brakes a little bit, Shane. However, moving on, Jack, I do have. Well, yesterday I did all shout outs. Today I've got some shoulder taps. I want to talk about one of our traders, Tyler S. If we can pull him up, Jack, cue up his trade report. Um, I'm going to give Tyler a little bit of credit here, but I'm also going to tap him on the shoulder too. He has spent 6 short days in a live account. He's in 150K. His average daily P&L is $1 over 6 days. Super small sample size on the trading days, but it's what's kind of in the trade report that I need to talk about. And there's a lot of areas for improvement here on Tyler's trade report. First, I want to highlight the 83% winning days and 75% winning trades. If you are looking at those statistics, you are probably scratching your head saying, how the heck is this just $1 on average per winner? But if you look a little bit further down, average winning day is $627, and the average losing day is $3,100. Now, there's only been one losing day in these 6 days, but it is, almost 5 times as large, the average winning day. So we've got someone who's coming in, hitting singles regularly, and then they strike out in enormous fashion, really. So this, I'll rattle off because there's so few trading days. Day one, $350 in profit. Day two, 1,000. Day three, 1,000. Day four, $420. Day five, $275, and then a daily loss limit was hit. And that was after they took a payout. Now, Tyler's XFA looked very similar to the majority of his performance on this live account. Consistent small wins. So we moved him over to a live account with not a huge chunk of dough. It was relatively on the lower side of things because everything that we had seen in the XFA and going back and looking at his trading history, indicated to us that this was, someone who's consistently profitable on a per trade basis, but as well as a per day basis. It's interestingly enough that his motto is live to trade another day, where, after these 6 days, he really put his back against the wall. He did take a nice payout for $3,600, but that payout of $3,600 plus the $3,000 daily loss limit has his back against the wall currently. And I don't think that he's living his motto after his last losing day. We always encourage payouts. For someone to take a $3,600 payout on an account balance of this size, it's a relatively large payout. You can take up to 50%, which I think is right about where he was at on that payout, even after the winning days, which allowed him to be eligible for the payout. But this is
Yeah.
something that, the trader broke his motto. And, I think that there's a certain weakness here with the over trading. That $3,000 winning day, trading a little bit more size, a lot of round turns, total contracts. He said his weakness is over trading, and I kind of saw it. Very few people actually fill out their trader profile here at Topstep. I encourage everybody to do that. If you kind of put a little ink to paper or, a keystroke to the back end system of your trade report, put something in writing. And if you can put something in writing, they always talk about like taking notes and writing things out. It makes it that much more likely for it to come to fruition. I encourage everybody, while Tyler may have slipped here and not lived by his motto, or focused on his weakness, I think it's an opportunity for others to maybe improve, their day to day. So we'll see what happens with Tyler, but I think he's going to have his tail between his legs, on his next trading day. He hasn't gotten involved in the markets today, which is probably a good thing. That should shake up any trader, when what happens to him happened.
Yeah, at least he did take a payout, and it seems like maybe we've been talking a little bit about the meta game of trading, even in a live account, where it seems he's trading really well, getting 5 winning days of more than $200, and then taking the payout, but then just kind of full sent it. I wonder if that was conscious or subconscious to be like, well, I've taken my payout, now it's time to just send it. Um,
Yeah, that I've noticed, with myself included, there's something psychological about taking a payout and trimming your account balance from what it once was. I've seen it with myself. I've seen it with other traders. Once you take, a chunk of dough out of your account, it's only natural to, same as, taking a big loss. You want to get back to where you were before and build up that account. That could, cause some traders, like myself in the past, to add a little additional leverage to, if you're a singles hitter like he is, maybe, are looking for a triple or a double or something like that. So, as a warning, or a line of caution to everybody, after you take a payout, there's something up there above the shoulders that changes a little bit. Maybe it doesn't, it shouldn't, but it's really easy to understand that it does. Be very careful after you take a payout and tread lightly, because we all need to be taking payouts as traders. But you know trimming, you may need to trim your size. You may need to adjust what you're willing to risk. Now, if you take half of your account, you don't have the same account balance maintenance level. You don't have the same cushion. You don't have the same, cash to, I hate using the word play with, but, you don't have the same cash to operate your business with. So you need to limit your losses. And, this slip up here from yesterday was, a staggering blow to Tyler's, account. And it's probably going to, have a negative effect on how things pan out for him, after these 6 short trading days. I hope not. I hope not.
Yeah,
We talk
we
about
always
grit and let's grind it out. But I wouldn't be surprised if the remaining balance in that account, which is far greater than the loss limit allowed in the account. I wouldn't be surprised if we go to zero on the next trading day. I don't want that to happen though.
well, let's scoot things along because we got to make time for David Green. So, who do you want to talk about next here?
All right, let's talk about Jacob. Jacob W. JD had brought him up earlier. I think everybody here is familiar with him. He was on a 41-day win streak that he snapped yesterday with a big old loss in his 150K account. Let me get myself organized here. I'm losing stuff on this big screen. All right, so Jacob snap the 41-day win streak. This is something I've seen with traders that do have these big win streaks. The winning days are small, which is fine, especially when you're consistently profitable. We talk about little things adding up to big things over a period of time. But I want to unpack this trading card. 96% winning days. I don't think there were very few. There were only a couple losing days during this time trading. Average winning day is $350. They're trading, NASDAQ and the micro NASDAQ, where I see a lot of these people that have these big streaks. A lot of it's attributed to them, trading the micros and stuff like that. I think it's always good to, deleverage a little bit. That's what micros are good for. Or if you're in a cold streak, trading those. Average winning day, $350 though. Average losing day, even though there were very few losing days, it's 10 times what the average winning day is. And also
Yeah,
the winning trades here, Jack, average winning trade $40, average losing trade $60. You're risking $60 to make $40. Granted, the strategy that they're implementing on this very short time frame is working, but there needs to be some adjustments to this risk reward, because unless you are stone cold, solid, and disciplined like a machine, a Terminator, if you will, you can't have a risk reward like this. You can't have average winning days of 350 with average losing days that blow up to 3,000. You are taking 10 small steps forward and one big step back. So over the course of like 48 trading days, average daily P&L is only $60. And that could be a lot better if you pull out those $3,000 daily loss limit days in this account. We're talking really nice profitability. And, I go back to anybody that can put up these statistics and these metrics. Now, I don't like the risk reward on the per trade basis, but 73% winning trades is really good. if you can do that and act like a machine, being stone cold, it really sets you up to scale your business. And you go from, whatever you're doing in the micros, get away from the micros, do it in the NASDAQ. And if you can maintain profitability as far as the metrics go, you can build upon that, and you go from one mini to two minis to three, and you can scale that as a business. And you know even if you're doing it on a short time frame, which I find so difficult to do, but shit, he's done it. Excuse my language.
Hmm.
That $60 average P&L could be 6,000 potentially, if this is someone who's scaling their business. But then you don't want to have those big blow up days like Shane that I mentioned, where it's 3,000 across 5 accounts and to the tune of 15 grand or more. Um, so I wanted to, highlight Jacob. I tip my hat to him for, his win streak. I've never had a 40 something day win streak. So, hey, you're doing something that I never did. We're doing things very, very differently. At least you're doing things differently than I did when I was trading full time. Um, but there's areas for improvement here. I've already
Sure.
talked about those. Go ahead, Jack. It sounds like
But it's
you got
almost worked out the way that Jacob is trying to do it. It definitely looks to me, looking through the days and number of contracts traded on this report, that Jacob is using a strategy that is designed just to rack up. I hope they weren't just trying purely for the street, but seems designed to make a little bit every day and then lose, because it's shocking that 96 winning day percentage, but this is club DLL, as we said. Which, look at this, I can only assume that they are basically, because it's very short time frame trades too. We're talking like
extremely
30
seconds.
seconds. So
Seconds.
they might be trying to just bring their risk to positive very quickly and get stopped out a whole bunch of times and see if it runs. Or I don't think they're doubling down, because I don't know. That seems the most likely candidate to me, is that they're really aggressively pulling risk to break even, because they traded 302 contracts with, that's I, I, the DLL yesterday, 302 contracts for $646 in commission. Uh, that's interesting.
Yeah, they were busy boy there yesterday. I mean, think about it, Jack. You're trading the Nasdaq. If you watch that dome, it flutters around like crazy. At $30 on your average winning trade, that's 5.5, not 5 points, 5 ticks. If you're a point and click trader, that's going to work. But where you get caught is your risk on the Nasdaq or any other market for that matter. If you're only looking for 5 ticks on the screen, your risk is so much greater initially.
Hmm.
We see those spikes, we see how stuff moves around. So I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, it's a very
this
interesting card.
a very interesting card. Respect to the streak. I gotta give a little bit of a shout out to Respect on the payouts too. They've got 8,000 in payouts so far in this XFA of theirs. So obviously, there's success there over the course of 48 days, $60 a day. That's short term success. But if they can buckle down, there's a lot more success in their future. And you just got to kind of go stone cold and have that discipline to not have those blow up days. I know that for me, and you could probably agree, Jack, because I'm sure you've been there with your years of experience on the professional side of the industry, is there's nothing to piss me off more than having two really good winning weeks and then one bad trade or one bad day or two bad days wiping out all of that hard work, because it is hard. Um, to string together, winners and stuff. So it was always something that was painful for me. And I think it's good to feel a little bit of pain and get upset about stuff. You got to get over it and move on. But if you get pissed off about something, you're much less likely to, find yourself making that same mistake in the future. So with that, I think we can move on. I don't want to grill
Yeah, I think
Jacob.
that we
You know,
we might have to save this third card, and I
Okay.
don't know if you or Brett are on tomorrow. I would save it because we have David Green coming for group coaching next with Dolby.
All right.
That was a good card. The Jacob reminds me of you were mentioning trading professionally. Is that's not totally dissimilar to we were trading a different thing, but it and this is different depending on what you're trading and stuff like that. Where it was make a little bit, make a medium a bit, a lot. Like we had a lot of green days, and the loser, like we say with outrights to have your average winning day bigger than your average losing day. That makes sense in outrights. That was certainly not the case when we were trading spread stuff. Your average winning day was significantly lower than your average losing day, but you tried to keep those to once a month. Um,
Thank you
I
for
think this,
correcting me. I digress a little bit because yeah, you and I were doing a little bit of different stuff. Actually, kind of a lot of different stuff. Very different
yeah,
things.
fun stuff to dive into from time to time. Anyway, we got more knowledge dropping on you. David Green is going to be here in a few minutes for group coaching with Dolby. Mick, thank you so much again.
You
And
bet.
Mick, why don't you say a final word because I'm working the production thing, so I got to go find something to show right now. That's how the
Ooh, I'm going to
sausage gets
take a
made.
page out of I'm going to take a page out of Hoag's book and say, "Go forth and profit." And another Hoagism is do not risk thy whole wad. I know we didn't get to my third card today, but there was something to be said there. But yeah, Jacob, don't risk thy whole wad, and then Tyler, don't risk thy whole wad. It applies to the two people we did talk about and the one person that maybe I'll kick over to Brett when he takes the segment tomorrow.
For sure. Don't risk thy wad. Stick around for group coaching. I'm going to hit a button right now. We'll see you in a minute or two.